Hey everyone, it's David from Finish Line Factory, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to my shop here at the Finish Line Factory secret test facility in an undisclosed location in Pompano Beach. We're working on the Miata engine. We got it mostly put back together, and we're going to be, let's see, what do we have to do? We have to transfer the oil pan, and I'll tell you why we're transferring the oil pan, not using the new oil pan that I have, or the, well, cleaned up oil pan. We have to put on the valve cover and a couple other components, so let's get to it. So this is the oil pan that I intended to use. I was about to drill and tap it to use it for the turbo oil drain and all that. Alvaro, could you pick up the oil pan? It's my buddy Alvaro, by the way.
What's going on, guys?
It's awesome. Thank you for helping me out. So carefully place the oil pan on the engine. And if you look here, it doesn't quite close. It should. Like all the bolt holes line up, but it doesn't go down. And then I looked here, this says BPE8, and I looked that up. This is the oil pan for an NA Miata, for not just any NA Miata, but the Canadian NA Miata. So for some reason, I have the oil pan from a Canadian Miata, made between 94 and 95, I think. I don't know why I have this. With the rest of the parts that I bought, because everything here, this is BP, this is BP 1.8, this is 1.8. This is all like newer stuff, you know, NB stuff. For some reason, I have an NA oil pan, so I'm not going to be able to use this. So instead, we're going to transfer over the old oil pan from my old motor, which is nice because then I don't have to drill and tap. It'll also give us the opportunity to look into the engine and see, you know, try to figure out what may have failed. All right, so the first order of business, first thing I want to do is I want to remove the head before we remove the oil pan. This allows us to take a look at the cylinder, see what went wrong. This also gives us a chance to really see what happened to the engine. Did I blow a ringland, or did I spin a bearing? So first thing you do is remove the head bolts. I don't think I'm going to be reusing this head, but I'm going to remove all of the head bolts in the correct order. This is going to be
Drum roll.
let's take this
What do you need?
this cardboard here, lay it down.
Put it underneath.
Oh, that was the head gasket. Little splashback.
Oh, did you get it on there?
Yeah. So
Let's see.
that's definitely detonation.
Oh, wow.
See right there, all the pock marks?
Yeah.
I can't turn the engine because I don't have a bolt on it anymore. But you know what? Here, let's grab the camera. So looking here, I see a lot of carbon buildup, so that means it was probably running very rich. I see a lot of little pock marks that indicates detonation, but I don't see any serious damage as a result of that. These little holes here, those look, yeah, those are just valve reliefs. I see a lot of, this cylinder looks good. What about cylinder 1? That's where a lot of damage usually occurs on Miata engines. Oh, it looks fine. I don't see any chunks missing, you know.
Right.
This one I know had low compression, but doesn't seem to have been because of rings. Suppose it was because I think I had a burnt exhaust valve, and we'll take a look at that in a second. But I want to flip this and get this drained. So it wasn't a blown ringland. It worked, right?
Sometimes you gotta improvise.
Sometimes you gotta improvise. Nice. Alright, seal broken. Let's take this bad off. Did you you hear that?
I heard something. Something's broken in there.
What do you think that was?
Probably part of a rod?
Oh ho ho! Oh man!
Wow. That's...
Oh,
Yeah,
there's some chunky boys in there.
Yeah.
That's not.
You think it's a bearing?
Do I think it's a bearing? Yes, I think it's a bearing.
It's a bearing?
Yeah. It is absolutely a bearing. Oh yeah, without a doubt. Look at that. Got some chunky in there. I think this. Oh my goodness.
Wow, it's really
It's stuck.
stuck to the...
So basically what was happening is the spun bearing was going around churning, and then shaving off bits of metal, and all those bits were just falling to the bottom of the engine. So we're gonna have to take that apart, clean it up real nice. This we're gonna have to clean out real nice. But while we've got this off, let's take this off and see what the bearing looks like. Let's see which one failed. Okay, not too. Oh wow. Oh wow. You see all that?
Mm-hmm.
That's sand.
Yeah.
That sand is metal shavings. See all that? All the little. Holy. Oh,
Oh, there you go.
it was cylinder 3. Cylinder 1. Cylinder 2. Cylinder 4 tight. Well, I found a problem. Do it. Goodness gracious. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's toast. All right, so we're gonna take the old oil pan. We're gonna clean it up real nice. We're gonna take it outside because we're gonna use a lot of brake cleaner. And you know, I don't know if you ever use brake cleaner, but if you're in a enclosed area such as a garage, it gets a little intense. So we're not going to record that part. It's going to be a little boring. So I'm just gonna take it outside. Okay, so this is the new one that I had, or well, cleaned up one that I had. This is apparently from an NA Canadian model, so I'm not going to be able to use it with my engine. So the differences are, internally, it's actually the same. The differences is the flange. You see here, this is a straight flange, and this flange is slightly scalloped here to accommodate the main bearing support plate. On the older engines, this is just a plain plate that does nothing, whereas here, Mazda had them bolt to the main bearing caps to reinforce them against the oil pan bolts to give it a little more support. All right, so got this all cleaned up. You saw it was full of gunk and grease and oil and metal shavings and dirt. Got it all cleaned up. Only took about 7 cans of brake cleaner. We could have done it in like 3 or 4, but we wanted to be absolutely sure. So we have here a baffle. This is a nav baffle, but it's really designed, kind of modeled after the Mazda speed baffle that's no longer produced. That slides in like so. How this works, I honestly don't know, because those baffles down there do a pretty decent job of keeping the oil in check. So how this is supposed to provide additional help, I don't really know. But it was not too expensive. I got it on the MiataTurbo.net forums. So then you place your original stock baffle over it, and then you just screw them down. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and apply some silicone to it. Use the other one. Lay down a nice bead. Start from here. There we go. Start from here, work our way back. Start from here, work our way back. Okay, so it turns out that all of the RTV that I just applied I looked at the tube. It smelled kind of funny. I looked at the tube. It said copyright 2004, Federal Mogul. That means that that tube was 15 years old. So I threw it out, bought a brand new tube of Permatex Ultra Black, which has, says, let me see, it says 2017. So I'm guessing this is 2 years old, which is better. One to stabilize it.
Yeah.
Everything's lined up. Everything looks good. Let's put the bolts in. Where's the bolts? Yeah. All right. Starting to look more or less complete. So what we could probably do while we're waiting is start putting on the some of the other assembly.
Okay. Oh, you like the accessory stuff, power steering?
I was thinking maybe like the oil and maybe
the
put
oil
the valve
stuff?
cover
Okay.
on. I think we're done with the valve cover as far as I'm concerned.